Hey, Great Bridge Guy here. Today I'm going to be breaking down one of Aang's nightmares in Avatar The Last Airbender, Season 3, Episode 9, Nightmares and Daydreams. Remember, this is my interpretation of the nightmare, so if you have your own, please leave it in the comments below. Since there are several nightmares in this episode, this is the one I'm referring to. So let's break down this opening segment. This contains Aang riding on Appa trying to avoid being captured by a giant Momo. This may be a bit out of nowhere, but actually this is a callback to Aang's nightmare in the storm. While this opening is meant to be surreal, it does instill one thing for Aang. You guessed it, fear. Next we get a shot of Aang being drawn to a frightening and almost otherworldly version of the Fire Lord's palace. Notice how I said drawn to because it doesn't seem like a malicious decision, rather instinctual, because Aang has been told by the entire world for the past 6 months that his destiny is to confront the Fire Lord. So now things get a little more interesting in that Aang's friends are seen being killed one by one in the reverse order and that he meets them. This can be seen as Aang's issue with attachment or fear of loss during the invasion. Remember, the plan is that Aang will face the Fire Lord alone, so Aang would be powerless to save his friends. Hence why Aang is literally frozen while Katara is being burned alive. Notice how Aang remains in his Book 1 and Book 2 Airbender clothing. This tells the viewer that Aang still sees himself as an air nomad, and that part of his identity has not left him. Also, I love how the Fire Lord is shown as just a manifestation of devious fire. On a side note, I read that seeing someone with no eyes in a dream, like how Aang sees Toph, could be a metaphor for spiritual blindness. This is technically true since Aang's 7th chakra was blocked by Azula's lightning in the Season 2 finale, and thus his ability to reach spiritual enlightenment and great cosmic energy of the universe is locked off. Okay, so that last one may have been a bit of a stretch, but here Aang is plunged into the ocean and is looking up at Zuko above the ice. This can be seen as a callback to how Zuko was trapped under the ice in the Book 1 finale. The writers are trying to show a parallel between the two characters, as Zuko was forced to hide out in the Earth Kingdom and cut off his Fire Nation ponytail during Book 2, after his failure to retrieve Aang during Season 1. But now since Zuko and Azula had defeated Aang at Ba Sing Se, now Aang is the one below the metaphorical ice, and thus Aang was forced to burn his only worldly possession in his glider and hide out in the Fire Nation during Book 3. Furthermore, the looming threat of Sozin's comet passes by in the background. Okay, so I honestly have no idea if Momo shushing Aang is meant to mean anything other than, well, it's scary as hell and very much surreal. Finally, Aang is seen at a field watching Sozin's comet crash into Earth, turning the green pasture into a red, scorched wasteland. This is a foreshadowing for what's to come, and that Ozai is going to use Sozin's comet to burn down the world. Notice how the sky here turns the same hue of red during Sozin's comet. So the night terror ends and Aang wakes up screaming, and thus my analysis ends here. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe and comment down below.